to ask Phil Clemens to come up and talk.
Jim, thanks for the opportunity to be here and share with this group. And I want to thank each one of you for joining us this morning and the Greater Philadelphia chapter to serve as our corporate recruitment chair for 2014. You know, I guess all these people are here because they want to walk, Jim.
I think you're right.
They didn't want to get into the ice bucket challenge. So they decided walking was better. But I want to thank each one of you for being here this morning to learn more about ALS and actually to find out what the ALS Association does and why it's important for each one of us to get involved to walk to defeat ALS. The Clemens Family Corporation became involved with this organization because one of our team members, and you're going to hear something about Dan in just a few minutes, was in need. As a result, we've been really impressed with what this organization was able to help one of our team members, and so we decided it was time for us to come and get involved also. You see, this isn't the first time that I've been involved that I've known about ALS. About 25 years ago, I had an aunt that was diagnosed with ALS, and I watched her as she progressed with her disease and as she declined in health. And then in the past 3 years, I had another very close friend of mine who's also diagnosed with ALS. And to watch his decline and how he needed help, it was not an easy thing to view. But he did receive help also from the ALS Association. But again, he lost his battle just in the past 6 months. Then when one of our team members, Dan, was inflicted, our team sprung into action. See, we've reached out to help Dan and his family in so many different ways. But see, that's what a team does. A team goes and helps other team members. Then we were contacted about what would our role be with the ALS walk that's coming up, and if we could get involved. So they contacted Tim Clemens, who is our local head of our CFG Cares team. And Tim came and asked, he said, Phil, would you be involved personally to come and follow this? I was really honored that they would ask that I'd come and could I get involved and help with this whole process. See, when you start to understand how this disease continues to progress, it really requires a lot of our action. It requires help for the individual, but it also requires help for their families. And it goes right to our core values as an organization. The organization has 3 very simple core values. Our first core values is ethics. And ethics, we define it, says we'll do the right thing. You know, helping both our team member and others with this devastating disease is the right thing for us to do. Our second one is integrity. We define integrity as I'll do what I say. We believe in supporting our team and our community, and it's one of our foundational building blocks. And if it's a building block for us, we better do what we say. Our final one is stewardship, and we say stewardship is I'll build a foundation for the future. ALS robs people of their future. And if we're talking about building foundations for the future, and something like ALS is robbing the future from so many, including our team members, we better step to the plate. So whether you have a direct connection to the disease or not, businesses across the Lehigh Valley support the ALS Association and their walk for really 3 primary reasons. First, every 90 minutes, someone else in the U.S. is diagnosed with ALS. It translates into about 5,600 people per year, each year, and unfortunately, time is not on our side. The average duration, as Jim said, of life is only 2 to 5 years for people who are diagnosed with ALS. And every 90 minutes, another patient passes away from ALS. The dollars we raise through this walk will help strengthen our community by funding programs and services for these patients and their families and supporting the ALS research. The second reason why it's really important for all of us to be involved is businesses like ours are quick to support organizations like the Greater Philadelphia chapter because they are extremely cost effective. And I know in business you want people who are using the money for the best advantage. They have an incredible 83.5% of the funds that are raised go directly to the patients or to research. And that's, in a day when money's tight, you got to watch where your charitable giving goes. You want to give it to organizations that are using it to the best advantage of both their patients and also where research is being done. And then there's a third reason to be involved, and that's to participate in the walk as a corporate team walk. And it's a great way to build camaraderie within your team, to increase morale within your company, to promote your organization, to be a good corporate citizen, and to raise money for wonderful organizations. I know within our organization, we've already got 2 teams going. We have one team that's Dan's team. They're out there for Dan, and they want to really get behind Dan. Another team is really walking for another thing. And I guess we're going to have more and more teams join up, because that's what it's all about. So what is your organization going to do? Will you have a walk team within your organization? You know, in your folder this morning, you'll find some statistics about what great advantages and benefits your corporation can have, but also each one of your team members or associates when they get involved with Walk to Defeat ALS. And it brings both internal and external rewards within your community and with a whole corporate side. So what are we going to ask you to do this morning? Just like we'll be doing at the Clemens Family Corporation, we want you to commit to having a walk team in the 2014 Lehigh Valley Walk to Defeat ALS.